The NBA playoffs are officially here Saturday and Sunday. 8 games, all 8 series begin. Postseason began earlier this week, the play-in games, but the real playoffs, they're here now on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to break down all 8 series, let you know sides, totals, player props, what we're looking at, how to play them, free plays, free analysis coming up right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, and I'm doing a quick hitter, rapid fire for you here. We're going to cover all 8 playoff series for both Saturday and Sunday for you here in this video. If you're liking it, thumbs up, like, and comment below, and I will keep it coming. I'm going to do every NBA playoff game every day for the next 2 months for you here on WagerTalk TV. And by the way, congratulations, WagerTalk TV. Over 200,000 subscribers hit. Thank you for being part of that. I'm sure you've already clicked that subscribe button, but if you're new here, hey, join the family. Click subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert so you know when these free NBA videos are posted each and every day of the postseason. All right, let's go down in start time order here. First 3 games on Saturday on ESPN National TV. We start off with Milwaukee and Indiana. This is normally how they do it. They put the Pacers on early because they're not a big market team. And it's interesting, of the 8 series, I think this is maybe the one that has the most live dog overall for the series, and that is the Milwaukee Bucks. And let's look at the series price in this one. Indiana's minus 160, take back about plus 140 on Milwaukee. And we have seen some sharp money come in on the Bucks. They opened as high as plus 170, now down to plus 135 in a lot of spots. Indiana's dropped from minus 200 down to minus 160. So I agree. I do think the Bucks are live in this series, and the zigzag should work. You know, we talk about the zigzag in the NBA postseason, and that's playing the opposite result, either side or total from the first game. You don't just blindly play the zigzag. I play the modified zigzag, which is quality teams. And all this is a mid-tier series here, I do think both of these are quality teams. So the zigzag should work pretty well here. And whenever we can get the Bucks off a loss in this series, they should be worth a bounce-back opportunity. It's something we'll be keeping an eye on. I'll talk more about that, obviously, in future videos. Should be a high-scoring series also. This is the highest posted total at 224. Open 225.5. It's down to 224. But I think the over is probably worth a look in this series long-term as well. If we can get some misleading unders, zigzag to the over could be worth a look here as well. I think both offenses hold the edge. Should be a high-scoring offensive-generated series. And a tight series. I think this one could go the distance between Milwaukee and Indiana, and that's your first game on Saturday. All right, your next game is at 3:30 Eastern, Clippers and Nuggets. Nuggets open 3.5. It's now down to 2.5 in a lot of spots. We have seen some money come in on the Clip show. Total is 223.5 up to 224. So this is tied with the Indiana series as the highest posted over-under, even though it opened a bit lower. A lot of question marks for Denver, obviously. They fired head coach Malone, the GM, just about 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. Could that be a wake-up call for a team that just won the world title 2 years ago? Perhaps. They still have maybe the best player in the world in Jokic. Murray, when healthy, is dangerous. But a lot of uncertainty with this Nuggets team, if they're the real deal still or if they're over the hill. We'll find out here, but the early money once again on the Clippers, dropping that line from 3.5 down to 2.5. As far as the regular season, by the way, I don't read too much into these regular season results, as a lot of these games, obviously, key players weren't playing, and they did play way back in October. LA won that game in the altitude in Denver, but then Denver won the 2 most recent meetings in mid-December and in January. But once again, they haven't played for several months, so not a lot we can take away from the regular season results. All right, we'll keep it moving here on Saturday. The next game goes at 6 o'clock Eastern, Pistons and Knicks. New York opened 6.5. It's up to 7. Total has dropped a bit from 221 down to 220.5. By the way, in that series price, Denver is actually a slight dog now in some spots. Something I wanted to point out. Nuggets open minus 120. They're now even money. So once again, the Clippers are actually a slight favorite. So I just don't think there's much value anymore in that series at that current series price. Knicks obviously a good size favorite in this one, about minus 380. Take back over 3-1 on the Pistons. And I do think the Knicks are the better team. They're obviously the more experienced team, but Detroit could be feisty in this series at times if you pick your spots. Another team that off a loss especially might be worth a look if the Knicks let down a bit. I don't know if Detroit has the pedigree to win this entire series overall, but with that said, I do think they can be good in certain situations. And the Knicks, a veteran team, do sometimes take their foot off the gas and overlook opponents. And the regular season matchups show that. In fact, these teams played 4 times. Way back on November 1st, the Knicks won that game by 30. Can't read much into that. But the 3 most recent meetings, Detroit won all 3 of them outright, including outright as an underdog in December and January. And then season finale, they were 3.5-point favorite, but they still won by 9. So once again, Pistons 3-0 straight up at ATS. The last 3 head-to-head meetings this year, so they could be dangerous in certain situations. Whether they can win the overall series, that might be a stretch as you're a young team. But once again, I look for Cunningham overs to maybe cash as well with player props if you look to back the Pistons. All right, finally, 8:30 Eastern, your late game on Saturday night. Those first three are on ESPN. This game is on ABC National TV. Minnesota and the LA Lakers. Not much movement in the series price here. The Lakers are about a 2-1 favorite, minus 200. Take back plus 170 on the Timberwolves. And as far as the game one line, Lakers have held steady around minus 4. 219 total down to 216, though we have seen a decent amount of money on the under early in this game between Minnesota and the LA Lakers. And of course, last year, Minnesota made a nice run in the postseason. They, like the Nuggets this year and the Mavericks, they've underachieved. The Western Conference is really different this year. Mavericks, T-Wolves, Nuggets were kind of the dangerous teams last year, and they are all vastly underachieving this year heading into the postseason. Oklahoma City looks like a strong favorite as the 1 seed. I'll talk about them here in a moment with the Sunday games. But could the Lakers be a dangerous team? Could they be a bit of a sleeper? People ask me, who do you like in the West? Well, obviously OKC is the team to beat. You'd have to say maybe the Rockets or Lakers after that. I'm going to talk about the Rockets and what concerns me about them. So yes, the Lakers, if LeBron stays healthy, if Doncic stays healthy, probably are that sleeper team here in the West. And I look for them to get off to a good start here against Minnesota. This T-Wolves team has just struggled all season. They just haven't quite been the same. Still a good defensive team as they rank 6th overall in defensive efficiency and 8th overall in defense. So on the surface, they could be a dangerous squad. I would say maybe whoever wins this series could be the sleeper, but I think that's more likely to be the Lakers as they are a 2-1 favorite overall. 4 games for Saturday. Let's keep it going here on Sunday. Quick reminder, if you want my personal best bets that I'm using each and every day in the NBA playoffs, get them right now on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. You get the entire NBA postseason for just $195. I do have 2 best bets, strong best bets posted for Saturday already, some advanced plays if you're joining us early. Once again, if you want my daily best bets, get them right now on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get the entire NBA playoffs for just $195. That's the next 2 months of pro basketball. Or if you want baseball and basketball, you might want to consider an all sports, all access option. We have a 7-day special right now for $77. No promo code needed. That's baseball and basketball every day and night. 7 days for $77. Or the best deal is the 1-year all access for about $1 a play. $3 a day, about $1 a play with promo code SM365. That's an instant $811 discount on my 1-year all access pass. And this is honestly the best time of the year to get on board and become a long-term member. Last year, we had an incredible baseball season. We had a fantastic NBA. We were number 1 overall in the NBA last year, including a great playoffs. Number 1 in overall baseball profit on best bets last year. In fact, my all sports clients had doubled their bankroll by the end of August. That's right. Last year, we doubled our bankroll, over 100 units won by the end of August. We're looking to do it again, and this is when it heats up with baseball and the NBA playoffs going together. Once again, $811 discount with promo code SM365 on the 1-year all access. That gets it down to exactly $3 a day, about $1 a play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And get to my page quicker for that daily free play also with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. All right, I want to give you all 8 games here in this weekend video. Now, I'm doing this on Friday evening, so I do not have the play-in results yet. Don't think it's going to matter. Those Cleveland and Oklahoma City are going to be huge favorites. And let's talk first about the Western Conference. Oklahoma City, the best team in basketball this year, at least record-wise. Not a ton of postseason experience going deep into the playoffs, but this year should be different. As I mentioned earlier, maybe the Lakers or the Rockets could be the sleeper. But once again, OKC is going to be the team to beat. I don't have the result from the Friday play-in game, but it's not going to matter. They're going to be a huge favorite no matter who they play, and they're a great team on both ends of the court. In fact, overall this year, they're the 3rd best offensive team and the best defensive team, defensive efficiency rating in the league. So I don't see many upsets. It's going to be a very difficult spot in Game 1 as the Friday winner is going to have to travel with just 1 day of rest and play the best team in the league. So once again, don't see many upsets. And once again, I talk about the zigzag. We use the modified zigzag, and that's quality teams. It's going to be hard to fade OKC in this series, but they very well could come flat in Game 2 if they win Game 1 easily. Something we'll keep an eye on, but I see them advancing. All right, let's look at the 3:30 Eastern series, Orlando and Boston. This is another team that had to play the way in from the play-in round, obviously, and they got it done, got the 7 seed with the Tuesday night win. Boston, a huge favorite, 13.5. Do have some names on the injury report. Holiday and Horford are questionable Sunday. Brown is expected to play, but I think they'll be okay. Boston is a team the zigzag will work well with. We've used it all season, last several seasons. When Boston loses a game, they come back with their A game, and they're still as good as anybody in the league. I talked about how Cleveland and OKC had the best records overall. Celtics weren't far behind, and all 3 of those teams I just mentioned ranked top 4 in both offense and defensive efficiency. There's no question Cleveland, OKC, and Boston are by far the three best teams in the league this year. So if we can maybe get Boston off a loss in this series against Orlando, that would be a strong bounce-back situation. All comes down to three-point shooting, and that's why the Celtics, as great as they are, can be a bit random at times, and we saw that last year in the postseason. They can lose outright as a double-digit favorite when the threes aren't falling, but otherwise they're a great team. Should be a very low-scoring series, open 209 the total. Now it's down to 206. So that's another concern with laying the 13.5 is that you got a low total here as Orlando plays at the slowest pace in the NBA of all 30 teams. In fact, if you look at pace rankings, Orlando is 30th overall this season. In Boston, guess what? 29th. So these are the two slowest teams in the league this season. And if you look at possessions, not too different. Orlando had the fewest possessions in the regular season. Boston, the third fewest overall. So once again, should be an extremely low-scoring series, and that is reflected with the lowest total at 206. So if we get some misleading overs, Boston red hot from three or something, and maybe an under, come back with an under in the next game, the zigzag might work in that realm. All right, let's look at the two night games. By the way, those daytime games on ABC on Sunday afternoon, the night games are on TNT National TV, starting with the one seed Cleveland. Once again, I don't know their opponent yet because I'm doing this video on Friday. I wanted to get it up early for you this holiday weekend so you had everything in one video. Once again, if you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, comment below, and I will keep doing NBA playoff videos every day for the next 2 months here with positive comments and thumbs up likes here on WagerTalk TV. But once again, like the OKC series, it's going to be a very difficult spot for the 8th seed having to travel without rest. Cleveland's been a powerhouse team on both ends of the court this year, top 3 in both offense and defensive efficiency. But like OKC in the West, Cleveland's been the best team, but they don't have as much playoff experience. They did go a little bit deeper last year and got some experience, and they have some superstar power, obviously, with Mitchell. So once again, kind of like the Boston series, like the OKC, if Cleveland's coming off a loss, they should be a strong bounce-back zigzag team. And that maybe this series, but in series to come. But once again, first 3 games on Sunday, you're going to get to see the 3 best teams in the league, and OKC, Boston, and Cleveland. I don't look for a lot of upsets in those series. All right, we'll finish it off with should be the best game on Sunday. It's the nighttime game on TNT, Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern. Golden State and the Houston Rockets. Houston currently about a 1.5 point favorite. A little bit of movement towards Houston. They opened 1 up to 1.5. And I agree with that move. I do think they're the better team here, and they've got home court. Obviously, Golden State's got the big-name star power with Curry, some experience from years past, but they're an aging team. I do think Houston, off a loss in this series, should be a good zigzag play. And I was a little surprised to see the line only 1.5 in Game 1, as the markets with home court are basically saying Golden State is the better team, and that's what the series price is definitely saying. Warriors open minus 195. It's down to minus 175, 180, but that still makes Houston a good price dog in this series at plus 165 down to 150 now. Once again, I think this is a dead even series. Zigzag should work well here with either team coming off a loss. Game 1 spot should favor Houston as Golden State had to play their way in as the 7th seed from the Tuesday night play-in win. And they looked tired in that Sunday game against the Clippers, as I mentioned in the video. Obviously, Curry turned it on in the play-in game. Never looking to fade superstars, but this is a very good defensive team in Houston. And we have seen the total come down a bit because of that. 216.5's been bet down to 214, even 213 now in some spots. So early sharp money has definitely been on the under in this one. And if it is a defensive battle, probably favors Houston because they are the better defensive team. In fact, they're 5th best defensive efficiency team. Golden State is 7th. Offensively, though, is my concern. I talked about Houston maybe being that sleeper, the Lakers. Minnesota Lakers, Golden State, Houston. The winner of those series could be sleepers long term. Houston's got the defense, just don't know if their offensive consistency is going to be there. And then you look at the Warriors overall, they're only 16th this year offensively, and you look at their defense, 7th. So once again, both teams better defensively than offensively, and that's why we've seen some sharp money, heavy sharp money actually bump this total down 3 points to the under for Sunday night. There you go, rapid fire, 8 games in one video. I don't think I'll be doing 8 games in another NBA playoff video because we won't have that many at one time. But wanted to get all the game ones for you here in this holiday weekend. Have a great Easter, by the way, on Sunday. Thanks for watching WagerTalk TV. And once again, if you're not part of that 200,000 subscriber base, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell as well for an instant alert so you know when these free play NBA playoff videos are posted each and every day right here on the channel. And once again, if you want my official best bets for both Saturday and Sunday's NBA playoffs, my Major League Baseball best bets, go to my page right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. The complete NBA playoffs, special price, no promo code needed, just $195. NBA playoff special, just $195 for the entire postseason the next 2 months. Or if you want to take a serious investment approach, you really should include baseball, as we went over 100 units in baseball alone last year. Baseball and basketball, 7-day sampler, just 77. Normally it's 99. We're doing a special this weekend for just 77. That's 7 days, just $11 a day for basketball and baseball. Or the best deal, the 1-year all access with promo code SM365 gets it down to about $1 a play. It's an instant $811 discount, gets it down to $3 a day, $1 a play for every college and pro basketball, football, and baseball best bet. Think about it. You're going to get the entire playoffs from the NBA and all of next year's regular season. You're going to get all of next year's college basketball season because it just finished, all of next year's college football and pro football seasons, and almost all of this year's baseball in another month next year into mid-April. This is a great time to start, and once again, we had doubled our bankroll last summer by the end of August, so this is the hottest time of the year with baseball in the NBA playoffs. Don't miss out. Instant $811 discount. If you're ready to take a serious long-term investment approach and play consistently every day and treat this as an investment, now is the time to get on board, and the price is right with an $811 discount with promo code SM365 on the 1-year all access. Once again, 7-day sampler for $77, or get it down to about $1 a play with promo code SM365 on the 1 year. Hey, you don't have to memorize the promo codes, the special offers. They're all listed on my homepage right now, along with a daily free play. I'm very selective, and that last cut for my best bet card, I put it up as a free opinion for everybody each day. So check out my page. You can see the last 20 best bets recapped as well. Click on any of them to read the analysis. Win or lose, I post my best bets each and every day on the page afterwards. You can click on the analysis to read about them. You can also see the free play, see the special offers. Hey, make it a daily ritual to go to my page and check it out. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker. WT.buzz/SM. Don't forget also to follow me on social media at Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And once again, what are your thoughts on these playoff series? What underdogs do you like? Give me some live dogs that could win the series outright. I gave you a few in the video. Drop them in the comments below. I do truly read the comments. I reply back. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And be sure to stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.